And the transcripts on now too?
What's the same?
Yeah. Okay, good evening, everyone. We're here for our regular council meeting of June 21st. We are going to go right into it. We'll start with introductions. When we get to the public hearings, I will do a quick how it goes down, and then we'll open those up. But starting with introductions, we have with us Councillor Joel One, Councillor Shane Pelletier, CEO Mitch Duval, myself Chris Ewan, Councillor Janine Belanger, Councillor Jason Bondarchuk. Good evening. Okay, so without further ado, I will call the meeting to order with item number 1. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second by Councillor Lemoine. Any comments, questions? No, I'll call for the question. Those in favor? That's carried 5-0. I'll open the meeting at 7:01 p.m. Item 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bondarchuk. Questions, changes to the agenda? Does council want to go as is, or do we want to jump right into public hearings?
As is, I think.
As is, Mr. Chair. Okay, thank you. We'll go as is. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 3, adoption of minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Lemoine. Go ahead, Mr. Seal.
Last regular council meeting was held June 6th, whereby we had 2 delegations, one from the RCMP regarding the year-end stats. The second one was from the Association of Manitoba Bilingual Municipalities regarding contribution agreement for our EDO. Council also gave first reading to bylaw 10-2023 regarding rezoning from AL to RG8, I believe, and that public hearing is scheduled for July 19th, as well as they passed a resolution regarding access to the St. Adult Daycare across from the Huron Creek, and appointed Councillor Pelletier to the Winnipeg Metro Region Planning Board.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions on the minutes? Changes? Nothing? Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 5, finance, item 1, account paid to be approved. I mover. Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier.
Batches for the not paid to be approved, have 4 of them. 17350 in the amount of 104,475. Basically, that was to the Receiver General and a fire truck pickup purchase. Batch 17361 in the amount of 2,200. Batch 17364 EFTs in the amount of 1,100, and batch number 17370 for 1,800.
Thank you. Open up for council discussion. Council, anything? Comments? No? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 5.2, accounts not paid to be approved. I have a mover. Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Lemoine.
Not paid to be approved, batch number 17358 in the amount of just short of 1.5 million. To summarize the summary that was provided to council, per diem for the 7th payment for the Ile des Chênes Daycare of 682,000, Diamond Construction for 172,000 regarding gravel for our gravel program, as well as GFL for our monthly garbage and recycling pickups in the amount of 75,000. Those are your big ticket items.
Thank you. Council, any questions, comments? Not here. No. Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 5.3, payroll to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier.
Payroll 11th, running from May 21st to June 3rd. Some public works overtime. Other than that, nothing else to report.
Thank you. Council, any comments? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Okay, we'll jump into public hearing. So the way that it's going to work is I will I'll list the item that we're going to be discussing, and then the CEO will give a bit of information. Then I will open the public hearing. At that time, I'll ask anyone wishing to speak in favor in public to raise their hand, and I'll call you to the chair. chair, and then, that would be your time to speak. And then after that, I'll ask anyone wishing to speak in favor online or on the phone, to please just unmute yourself, turn on your video if you'd like, and then just let us know your name, and then you can, say your piece. And then I will go to anything received in favor, then I will switch over to anyone wishing to speak against. In person, we would do the same thing, raise your hand, we'll call you to the chair. Then I'll go, anyone wishing to speak against online or on the phone, again, unmute your microphone, turn on your video if you'd like, and then that's your time to speak. And we'll do another round after that, and then we will close the public hearing. So, without further ado, 6.1.1, V9 2023 Waddell 1937 Carrier Drive.
The proposal is to vary the minimum required distance between the buildings from 8 feet to 4 feet with a firewall rated for the purpose of building a detached garage in the agricultural limited zone. Notices were sent out according to the Planning Act.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:06 PM. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor in person? Come on up, sir.
This is the second try for this garage. What do we do from here? Was there anybody that spoke against it?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet, so this would be like, so if you have anything you want to speak in favor about, any updates you might have for council or the public, anything, general comments, if council has questions, now would be the chance to ask them. Then you would sit down and then I'll ask if there's anyone wishing to speak against, but I don't think in terms of anything brought in, there was anything brought in just to.
Okay. All I have available to me is consent from the immediate neighbor.
Okay.
In writing that it's a go.
Sure.
As far as they're concerned.
Okay.
Yeah, we're forced to do this on the north side in between those, the two houses. That neighbor, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting for a go-ahead to start the building permits and stuff.
Sure. Council, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I just have a question. I know you tried on the south and not on the north. Why not like move it back a bit and then over so you don't have to worry about the distances or just, obviously your preferred location, but you got a fairly large lot. I was just curious, did you consider the location?
I did. We would like to have a two-door garage. And, there's a gas line in there and other things. That's why we couldn't put it up against the house. So that's limiting my space. And the agreement with the neighbor is I'm not touching any trees. So that limits me going north. Even though they're my trees, they didn't want, that was our agreement. So.
Well, you could have gone east maybe a bit and east and south or?
Then we're looking at putting in a larger,
Driveway.
foundation, like dirt. That's the top of the mountain. If we went east,
Oh, yeah.
we gotta haul in hundreds of yards of dirt. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Anything else from council? Nothing. Okay.
I have one more question. We're talking about, because it's within 8 feet.
Sure.
Is the firewall an inside wall or a external wall?
Oh, don't point at me, Mr. I'm not a building inspector, that'd be a question for a building inspector.
Anything that I can get approved by my, designer will be satisfactory with this group.
As long as it meets the building codes.
Yeah.
When it comes to, fire rating besides, close proximity to a building.
Exactly.
And the building inspector is okay with it. This group should have no issues.
Okay, I'm good with that then.
It will be exterior, then.
It would be exterior, that's the question I was asking.
Yeah, you'll probably need close offsets on that side and a few other things, but your designer should
Well,
be aware
yeah, and
of the requirements.
you might have to go non-combustible being so close, so it might have to be steel stud and 5/8 on both sides even. Like but your designer will figure all that,
Yeah.
the code will tell you exactly what you have to do.
If I make it at 8 feet, I'm not restricted to a firewall.
Correct, because that's what you're here for, right, is just the 8 to 4 feet?
It's sitting right now, I can go up 70 inches from the house and where the gas line is. I could probably just make it 8 feet and we wouldn't be talking right now, right?
No, 'cause I think what would end up happening is you're gonna end up encroaching on your,
I wouldn't be building it as a whole, I wouldn't say it would be 40 or 22 feet, it might be 20 then.
yeah, as long as you're,
The distance.
whatever the side yard.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm good with all that.
Yeah.
That's all the questions you had?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor online or on the phone? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Anyone wishing to speak against online or on the phone? Anything received?
Nothing received.
Okay, one final call, anyone wishing to make any general comments, ask any questions, speak in favor or, speak in favor or against, online, on the phone, or in person? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:11 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second, Councillor Boulanger.
Therefore, be resolved that variation application V9-2023 be approved with the following conditions: that the applicant must obtain a building permit from the Armory-Shot office for the purpose of the proposed garage, and two, the garage must be constructed with a firewall rated on the south side.
Thank you. Open it for council debate, discussion. Any comments, questions, council, concerns?
No.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That is carried. Thank you. Moving on to item 6.1.1.1, V10, 2023 Beaudry, 663 PR 305E.
This is to vary the minimum required side yard from 15 feet to 7.5 feet for an existing shed and agricultural limited zone, as required by the subdivision file 4165-22-8182.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:12 PM. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor in person? Anyone wishing to speak in favor on the phone or online? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against, in person, sorry? Anyone wishing to speak against online or on the phone? Anything received?
Nothing received.
Thank you. One final call, anyone wishing to make any comments, speak in favor or against, in person, online, or on the phone? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:13 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemon, second, Councillor Pelletier.
Therefore, be resolved that variation application V10-2023 be approved with no conditions.
Thank you. Open it for council discussion, debate. Anything to add? Any comments?
Just to clarify, this is an existing, we're just housekeeping, right?
As a result of the subdivision, I guess where they decided to put the boundaries, there happened to be a shed there, so
Yeah.
just for conformity purposes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. Thank you. Item 6.1.2, V11, 2023 Moffett, 1095 PR 200.
The proposal is to vary section 3.3D of the zoning bylaw to allow the detached accessory building and the front yard in a agricultural limited zone.
Thank you. Open the public hearing at 7:14 PM. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor in person? Anyone wishing to speak in favor online or on the phone? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Anyone wishing to speak against online or on the phone? Anything received against?
Nothing received.
One final call, anyone wishing to make any general comment, questions, speak in favor or against, in person, online, or on the phone? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:15 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Boulanger, second, Councillor Lemon.
Therefore, be resolved that variation application V11, 2023 is approved with the following conditions: that the yard drainage shall not affect adjacent properties, and two, that the applicant shall obtain a building permit from the Armory-Shot office.
Thank you. Open it for council discussion, debate. comments, council?
Well, it's unfortunate that the applicant is not here, because I was just gonna ask the same, why that location, why the front yard, not the back? Could be another mound situation, but when I looked at the site, looked at the Google Street View, it doesn't appear that there's a mound there. So I was just wondering why? If it's for convenience sake, and it's going against our bylaws.
The applicant is online, I believe.
Oh,
They want to unmute themselves,
okay.
if they can.
Yeah, I'm online.
Hi, go
the
ahead.
purpose- Hi, the purpose of it is it's just a detached garage, and just from a look perspective, we wanted it in the front.
I missed that
Sorry,
too.
can you say that again, a little blurry?
Sorry, so it's a detached garage, and just from a look perspective, we wanted it in the front, so it'll look identical to the house.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Any other council comments?
Yes, I was just looking also at the site plan and the plan that you, submitted, the driveway into the area, there is an existing driveway. Are you gonna use that approach or a new approach?
It's going to be the existing driveway.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for that? No?
No.
Okay. Back to council debate, anything else to add, council? Comments? No, I'll call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed? One, that's carried. One opposed. Okay, moving on, 6.2.1, C14-2023, Beaudry, Ritchie Bros auction, St. Gap.
The proposal is to allow an auctioneering establishment consisting of the online auctioneering of industrial and agricultural equipment and the sale of consignment and internet auction of heavy and agricultural equipment, trucks, and attachments in the commercial highway zone.
Thank you, sorry. That's it. I'll open the public hearing at 7:18 PM. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor or is there anyone wishing to make a presentation? I should have said that first. Anyone wishing to make a presentation on the application? Anyone wishing to speak? Mr. Beaudry, come on up.
Well, just for clarity on thank you. I mean, this site, it's owned by myself, and my brother Richard. It's been a area of staging equipment, leased to the province for stockpiling gravel. And I do believe it's had 2 cement plants over the years. There's no cement plant here, but right now it's been used for more of a staging equipment, unloading and stockpiling. So we've been approached a few months back by the Ritchie Brothers organization to use it for staging equipment, and I've updated Councillor Lemoyne, Mitch a little bit on, and this is what led us to this. So we have an agreement with Ritchie Brothers Canada, and I do have a representative here, Brendan LeBlanc, which is Western Canada, and representative of Ritchie Brothers. So if you want to see any more, I mean, basically that's what our main plan is.
Did you have anything to add, Mr. LeBlanc? Or no?
Yeah, I would just add, our main goal is just to provide an easy flow of equipment for local consumers, construction outfits, and dealer operations. That's our prime goal. We provide that marketplace, and we do it in a very digital fashion. So it's been excellent working with Mr. Beaudry and looking to continue.
Council, do you have any questions for either Mr. LeBlanc or the applicant? Sorry? Nothing?
Not quite yet.
No? Okay. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor in person? Anyone online wishing to speak in favor? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received in favor?
Thank you. Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Anyone wishing to speak against online or on the phone? And anything received against?
We've received one letter against from Sue Dorj, and the council has a copy of that in their agenda.
Council's reviewed that.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay, I'll give it one final call. Anyone wishing to speak in favor, against, ask any general comment, online, on the phone, or in person? Seeing none,
No, sir, sorry. One thing that did come up between, at the last minute were comments from, Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure, which is a provincial branch of the government. So council also has that information with them. I don't know if they had a chance to read this. But because of, the proximity to Highway 75, they have 3 bullet points. One is that they're not gonna approve an access off of PKH 75 or PR 305, that the access will be from the service road, and I believe that is the case already. They also have concerns regarding traffic generated by the development that could have an impact on the operations of 75 and 305, so they would require the developer to provide some kind of preliminary traffic projections. There's a contact number for that. I'll provide that to the applicant afterwards. Based on that, their department will then determine if more of a detailed study is required. If so, then they will need to get qualified engineers to determine what kind of traffic impact is generated by the development and on the highway for any highway improvements that may be a result of such traffic. And due to the short turnaround time, because of the conditional use in the public hearing, they're unable to fully make a comprehensive review at this time. So once I read the resolution, I would like to add a clause in there as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Seo. Go ahead, Mr. Wood.
Yes, I have reached out to Manitoba Infrastructure well in advance and not getting any feedback on it, so I thought that, we're not so did not get any feedback, so the access will remain the same as they were, and we're not planning on hooking up on 305 or 75.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, I will now, any final comments online, on the phone, in person? I'll close the public hearing at 7:23 PM. Do I have a mover? Councilor Lamont, second, Councilor Pelletier.
Therefore, be resolved that conditional use application C14/2023 is approved, subject to the following conditions. That this use shall not be noxious, offensive, or hazardous by means of emissions, production of odor, dust, refuge matter, waste, vapor, gas, smoke, vibration, or noise that shall create a nuisance beyond the property sightline. 2, that the operation hours shall be from 7 AM to 11 PM. 3, that merchandise for auction or consignment shall be industrial and agricultural equipment, trucks, and attachments. 4, that there will be no storage of hazardous liquids, materials, or substances. 5, that the applicant shall comply to the municipal noise bylaw 14-2003. 6, that any lighting must be located, arranged, or shielded so that no light is directed at any neighboring property. 7, that the applicant maintains a storage area for proper drainage so not to affect adjacent properties. 8, items stored outside shall be kept in a tidy manner so not to create any unsightly appearance. 9, the storage of derelict vehicles is not permitted. 10, the applicant shall ensure that any and all proposed construction conforms to the Manitoba building codes, fire codes, health standards, labor laws, and any other municipal and/or provincial permits and approvals as may be required. The applicant shall comply with the littering bylaw. Any signage shall be complying with the municipal zoning bylaw. And this is where I would like to add a clause concerning the comments from MTI regarding the impact study, and upon review of the impact study, that the applicant would be responsible for any recommendations or requirements that is received from that review. And last but not least, the applicant will sign a confirmation letter accepting the terms of the order. Site audits may be conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance may cause revoke of the conditional use at any time.
Mr. Steele, open for council discussion. Council, any comments? Are we all good with the addition that Mr. Steele suggested? Okay, anything else?
Just from reading this, my understanding is that it's, staging, like the applicant said, there's not gonna be any auctions on site. Correct, whereas, you bit.
Online auction only,
Online
so
only.
station.
Yeah, okay, because I think that was one of the, concerns with Mr. George.
Yeah.
About the amount of people there and causing disturbances.
Only one I got is that service road, so I'm getting a lot more heavy traffic on it then. Who's gonna be responsible for maintaining that?
Like you said, you look at it now, there's, 18 piles of rubble on it, if you look at Google Maps. It's
It's been used.
It's been used for.
So I know we're maintaining it right now, right? That's one of, okay.
And I think the traffic, whether it's gravel piles coming in and out, or, construction equipment coming in and out, this is equipment still coming in and out. I think the weight and the quantity of traffic will be similar, my opinion.
Anything else from council?
Do we need to put a timeline on the province amendment you added? Because you're not gonna get a study done in 2 days, although we might have one handy from some of our previous.
I think it's open-ended that they need to do the traffic impact study. Highways will do their review accordingly, and then from that review, there'll be requirements or no requirements, and that's what they'll have to be, they can't satisfy MTI, then there's an issue.
Okay, call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that is carried. Moving on to 6.2.2, C15, 2023 Darlington, 2300 PTH 59.
The proposal is to allow a home industry consisting of a mobile food truck in a agricultural general zone.
Thank you. I will open the public hearing at 7:28 PM. Is there anyone wishing to make a presentation on the application? Come on up, sir.
Thank you. Presented the conditional use to be able to operate a home-based business from my property, and years of customer service and sales and previous experience with running a hot dog cart in the past has kind of drawn me back into this business, and having a family at home that needs a little extra attention, I wanted to have a home-based business, and this kind of made sense for me, and we're hoping that we were able to bring this to fruition here, and so passion, hopefully we can get this all together and run it from home, and get a few days a week out of that area there, and then service the rest of our community and in other areas and other parts, and within the municipality of Rochelle. So see how she goes.
Okay, I appreciate that. I will open up for council to ask any questions. That was one of my questions was, are you gonna be servicing any areas other than just the place that you're setting up the food?
Yeah, that's the plan, we would hope to do a few days a week on our property, and then bounce around into other areas.
Anything else in council?
I just have a question about traffic, Rose, thinking about traffic. I have a friend, or my daughter has a friend that lives at the antique place just south of you. And when I would drop her off, pick her up, I took my life into my hands turning into that driveway. 59 is crazy there. What do you think it's gonna be like with your business there? Do you think it's gonna, I don't know, cause issues or harm or?
Well, we have a chicken farm right behind us, and there's multiple vehicles that come in and out of there, and I watch them on a daily basis, and there's other businesses on 59, and, I don't think, those businesses change the traffic patterns and, change how things happen. I don't think my business is gonna change how traffic flows, and, I've done some car counting, numerous days over the past few months at different times of the days, and, there's upwards of 8,000 vehicles that travel on that highway from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and, it takes all types, and there's all different types of speeds going up and down that highway, and things happen at different times of the days and, of the day, and, you know, having another business on that highway, I mean, is that gonna change how people drive? And I don't know, I obviously took that into account, but, you know, you'd hope that, people that are, coming in and out of the service road that attaches to my driveway, and I own the service road there, are going to be responsible and,
Okay.
not be,
Yeah.
careless drivers.
What times do you see, like lunchtime, supper time, your peak
Oh.
hours?
When we first put the application in, we wanted to get as many hours out of it as possible, right? But, you know, like at lunchtime, it's, you know, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. is probably a hot time for us, get in, get out kind of deal. But, you know, if it comes down to, what the council's going to approve, I mean, we're willing to work with, everybody, right? I mean, I wanna get as many hours out of the day as possible. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to work from 11 to 5, 6, 7 p.m. to get a full day out of it, but if it's gonna come down to, you know, what's gonna work best for the RM, well, we're willing to work with everybody.
I was just thinking about rush hour traffic, you know, first thing in the morning and coming home at night might be your worst times, but if it's more of a
Well, we're
lunch
definitely not-
daytime thing would be,
We're not doing first thing in the morning for sure, you know, lunch hour would be great. I would like to work into the evening and get that, that supper rush too, but, if that's gonna be a safety concern, that's something we can talk about.
okay.
We're open to, talking to council, making concessions where need be.
Super, thanks.
Just summer based?
Nope, we wanna do full year round. We're gonna get the trailer, fully set up to be running all year round. We want to, get up to the lakes and, service the fishermen, so we're working on it right now.
Kind of food.
Smash burger is the, main thing, so, yeah.
Good for you. Anything else, council?
Just maybe an internal question, but when it comes to signage, it's obviously not in the ditch, not in the highways, but,
We have to work with the province on our roads.
but if you're in your yard.
You still need to.
Yeah, okay, something to consider.
Okay, appreciate it, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else in person is there anyone in person wishing to speak in favor? Anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak? No. Okay, is there anyone online on the phone, no?
Not I could tell.
Okay.
But I'll let you ask the question every time.
I appreciate that. Is there anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against, in person, online or on the phone? Anything received against?
Nothing received.
One final call for any general questions. Anyone wishing to speak in favor or against, online, in person, or on the phone? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:34 p.m. Do I have a mover? Councilor Belanger, second. Councilor Bodnar.
Therefore, be resolved that conditional use application C-15/2023 is approved, subject to the following conditions. For the home industry use, the applicant shall comply with section 5.2 of the zoning bylaw. 2, any lighting must be located, arranged, or shielded so that no light is directed at any neighboring property. 3, the signage shall comply with part 11 of our zoning bylaw as amended and any requirements of Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure. 4, that the use shall be incidental or secondary to the principal use of the dwelling unit. 5, that the applicant shall comply to the municipal noise bylaw. 6, the hours of operation shall be between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. 7, that the applicant shall provide a minimum of 2 parking spaces for the home industry. 8, that the applicant must apply and obtain a building permit for the required renovations from the municipal office. 9, that the maximum space to be used for the home industry must not exceed 1,000 square feet, and the applicant, must sign confirmation letter accepting the terms of this order.
Thank you. I'll open up for council discussion, comments. Council, do you have anything you want to debate?
I apologize, I didn't see that sign.
Okay. Anything, Councilor Belanger, you're a little bit concerned with traffic. Are you looking to maybe limit hours? Is that something you want?
No, I'm glad he did a vehicle count. I know it's a busy thing, but there's Evergreen wedding thing on one side, and he's not wrong, there are other businesses on there, so I think to deny him would be a contradiction to what's going on. I think that highway needs to be looked at, and maybe more businesses like this will provoke the study more and get it twinned, or.
I believe it's been announced, I think, right? Yeah, it's been announced.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
So we need volume to get
Yeah,
those kind of things going, so I think it's.
drive your car down there a little bit more. Get the council. Yeah, burger.
Well, but it's smash burger, you know, when he said that was a game changer.
Anything else from council?
I would just suggest, good hour would be about 3:30 when the Hanover bus tries to back up as many people as he can on the highway.
It's 4:15 when it drops.
And he's probably got 30 cars behind him.
Go back ready. Perfect. Nothing else from council?
No.
Okay, I'll call for question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That is carried. Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, congrats. Okay, we will give everyone 1 minute. They want to leave now because we're done our public hearings. Refresh water from council, any bathroom breaks, anything needed. Thank you, guys. Have fun. Don't work too hard.
You want your pen?
I'll go in here.
Oh, I forgot you got one last time.
You need one?
No, I kept it. I just took a picture.
Now you got 10 here.
Put them together.
We need to start wearing our pins. Pretend we're council.
Okay,
We'll do it just so we can show off for these guys something to do there.
okay,
Are we still on? Are still on?
all right, okay.
We're still on, right? Yeah, I know.
Just so you know, they were just handing it away.
No,
No, our
You
silver
were
one,
special.
our Queen
All
Jubilee.
right. Our Queen Jubilee.
My bad. I apologize.
Okay, that's
Mr.
fine.
Detrone.
Every time we store. We're good to go. Let's go 7.1. Sorry, we're back to the show here. 7.1.1.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, may we shut the doors, or?
Sure, Councilor Wayne, we'll shut the doors. Perfect. 7.1.1, 416-523-8249 JMT Holdings, 2 lots. Do I have a mover? Councilor Bonner-Truck, second. Councilor Pelletier.
This, came forward to the, planning meeting, this subdivision. You guys want me to read the resolution?
I'm okay with that, or not, council wants to go through the whole thing? No? Go ahead, as is, as the way you want.
Okay. So therefore, I think there's some mixed opinions out there regarding the development plan and what community planning is giving us as well. I think council discussed the matter, at the planning meeting, so I've got nothing else to offer at this time.
Okay, open for council discussion. Council, anything to add, comments, debate?
Sorry, I had just a question in the, evaluation form. Item 3, Mr. Duval, you could just clarify something for me. Permitted use, yes and no were both checked. Is that, just educate me on that, is,
So if I were to venture a guess, it's permitted use in any other area for the green ag and environmental policy.
I don't think I'm still understanding. So is it permitted in this area? It says yes, but it also says no.
Okay, we're talking about a subdivision here, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then.
In the evaluation form there.
Okay, so that's.
Number 3.
Okay, so I can't answer why both are checked off. This is a community planning form,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Maybe it's permitted in Richmond and not in McConnell?
No,
No, this is
so
not.
it's just talking to the ag limited zone
Yep.
in general, like the definition.
So it can be permitted in one definition of it, but not in another one, like,
Or based on area.
yeah, okay, okay.
Good.
Okay,
Anything else, Councilor Potter?
well, just from my understanding, they just want to separate it so that they don't have to keep it on his business property, correct? The house, he built the house, it's not part of his business, so that's why he wants to subdivide it. So it's really no difference if he's gonna put a house on regardless, but the whole fact that if we allow subdivision in a flood zone, to me goes against everything we've been saying no to. Even though it's just for one house, but it's still a subdivision, and that's,
Valid? Council, thoughts on that?
but Shane, to me, like, I know we talked about this at MRPD, and it said that MRPD is okay with it, but that goes against what MRPD is, so.
So we passed this at MRPD because the province didn't do a full no. So we passed it to allow it to come to council
Okay,
for this one.
and then council, okay.
Yeah,
Then council decides on
kind of like the same reason that there's a yes and no check mark.
Okay, nobody's supposed to, so it's up to us to say yes or no.
Yeah, no, and that's why I got passed at MRPD.
Yeah.
I brought that up with Mitch before, it's like, it's conflicting, but
Yeah,
because it wasn't a full no,
okay,
we kind of were giving it to this group to decide on what's going on with that one.
I just have that whole Red River Drive, as you guys all know, is quite a thorn in my side right now. Just allowing more development and subdivision in that area. It's just adding to, the volume, and that road needs, can we put a condition that he fixes the road?
The whole road?
The slide. No,
No, it's valid, there's one thing.
this one doesn't sit well with me, that's all, just because it's against, no development shall happen in a flood zone, and then we go ahead and allow a subdivision in a flood zone, it's opening a can of worms.
Yeah, it's opening doors for,
Just a point of information, I know it's not a public hearing, but I am here to provide some insight if there's any opportunity to provide that.
That's up to council if they want to entertain that.
I'll entertain that, Councilor, okay with that?
Sure. Thank you so much. Okay. I really do appreciate you listening to, just some insights about what I have to say. My name is Jennifer Lim. I'm from 31 Lakebourne Drive in Winnipeg, so unfortunately not local, but very cute town. Really like coming through here. I am representing the client, which is Tony Texera, on this application. And his application is purely to keep the business separate from the house. So he could come forward with a conditional use application to build a house in advance and then subdivide. But instead of taking the risk financially, because anything can happen, he'd much prefer to go about it by doing a subdivision, using a development agreement as a planning tool to restrict any future house being on the west side of 75. So at the end of the day, it's a zero-sum difference, right? It still is open to a conditional use by council. Council still can deny that conditional use, and then it's a subdivision for nothing, but there's still a development agreement on title that would restrict a house from ever going on the west side, and he's completely open to doing that. He's completely open to ensuring that development agreement too, that the egg lands remain in egg use. He's very supportive of the policies, and he'll make sure that the house is built to the flood protection levels. As for the fixing up of the road, you know, he does own JC paving, so there may be some discussions there, but I don't think tying that into the DA would necessarily be as welcome, so. But yeah, if there's any questions, I'm glad to take them, but I just really want to impress upon council that this really is, you know, we could go about it route A, or we could go about it route B, and we're choosing to go the way that keeps them protected financially. It's not against the policies. The intent of the development plan bylaw will still be intact. I get that the policy reads a very black and white way, but the intent is not to intensify development. The tool is a development agreement. The development agreement under Section 150 of the Planning Act can restrict land use. So then you can, within that development agreement, say on the west side of 75, I apologize, there is no single-family dwellings permitted, and therefore you've kept the intent of your development plan intact.
Okay, thanks, I appreciate it. Anything else?
What is the plan still to put a house on the east side of 75?
Yeah, between Red River Drive and 75 coming off of Red River Drive, that has been the intent, and so he did do the buildup of the land in that area. The new buildup that's happening, FYI, that's a couple properties to the north, because Tanya had brought that to my attention, so we looked into it. It's not his property that's happening on, I don't know what's going on there. And also Tony gave me the plans tonight for the truck terminal, so that will be coming forward to the plan district eminently. It's a 9-bay truck terminal, so that should be seeing construction going underway pretty soon, okay?
Anything else for questions from council? No?
Well, I'm just a little confused or not confused, but misunderstanding the two. I understand he can get a house on there without the subdividing. Under conditional use, it would come to council. But if he did that, came to council to put a house on and we denied it, he's not out any money. So I don't understand why he's saying, let's do it this way, so that he's not wasting any money by doing it the other way.
So what I understand is that to get the single-family dwelling, he has to go through a conditional use process, right? So let's assume, and I don't want to assume that this will be the case, but maybe it is. It gets approved. He goes and he builds a house on this property, and for whatever reason, and hope again that this never happens, something occurs with the business. Well, it's tied on title, right? So then anything that's on title is an asset of the business. If the titles are separated to begin with, then the house is never at risk, right? And I mean, who wants to lose their house if something happens with the business? And again, I'm not suggesting that that would ever happen, but it's just simply a smart financial move as a business person. I don't think it's a wise move. You know, if you can separate your house from your business, you generally want to do that. And that's really what his intent is.
So is the house intended for Mr. Textera, or is he splitting the land to be able to sell for the purpose of building to somebody else to build?
Yeah, to be honest, I believe that he is moving into Richaud, because right now he has a property in St. Andrews. I don't know if I should be disclosing that, but he does. And this is where he's hoping to set up his domicile, is that the proper word, the fancy word, his primary residence,
And the truck terminal is,
across the road.
oops, on the west side?
Yeah.
On the west side, okay, gotcha.
But there's no guarantee that if the house is going to be for himself. By subdividing, you can sell it easily to anybody, right?
I mean, technically,
Obviously,
yeah,
got that right.
that's not the
Okay.
intent, yeah.
Okay. Anything else from council?
Thank you so much.
Okay. No, and I totally get it, I totally understand that, I still have an issue with subdividing in a cycle, better.
Okay.
I I know he has a right to put a house on there, that's a different, different story, like, right?
No, that's valid.
So,
Any other debate in council?
All the neighbors are full parcels? Oh, not quite, sorry, now I see the line. Well, some have two. Okay, anyway.
Councillor Phelps?
There's some that got grandfathered in pre-97. 'Cause since then, nothing's been, to my knowledge, nothing's been allowed to split. Like, you do see a few in there that are like that.
Only the houses are both on.
but a lot of the ones were splitting the house from the egg and
Yeah,
so it was the other way around.
it was an actual
Yeah.
farmstead
Yeah.
split.
Splitting, so it was already there, and they're just subdividing to get the egg, yeah. It's kind of the other way around.
Besides the, flood mitigation, their, concern is gonna be construction of a house on that pile of rubble that he's piled up there. Yeah.
Anything else from council? Okay, I'll call for the question, those in favor? Opposed? That's defeated, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to 7.2.1, asphalt road reconstruction, pathway and patching. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bonner, second, Councillor Pelletier.
Public Works is looking at, asphalting Beauvais and doing some lane drainage as well as some pathways. Yes, they went out through their tendering process, and Bitumen X is the lower bid, so recommendations to award and paving projects.
Okay, council discussion, concern, Councillor Lewin?
On the bid, quote, there's two lines with two figures, St. Adolphe, and then it says N172, M2 patching, and, like, is there mention of St. Agatha there? Because I think this also includes the walkway and some of the end of street patching. I just want to make sure that's covered in this quote.
Only shows the St. Adolphe one.
But the RE does say St. Adolphe and St. Agatha, I'm just making sure these are both for St. Adolphe. The other two quotes are very well defined.
The math works on the square meters.
I think it's just a typo. I think
I was gonna say,
Is it total?
do you know the length and, size of your trails and of Beauvais? Cause I can't answer that question, like, this again is a document provided by Bitumen X, and we're assuming it is a typo.
It's,
It has to be because
for,
the RFQ has 1152 square meters for St. Gas, and it's 1152 square meters
yeah,
in bitumen, so just a typo, yeah.
others are just saying broken down, the trail, the pathway is 480, meters, times 2.4, so yeah, you're 1162, right, so. I think the math adds up, but it just really sounds like it's just too low, it's just,
I'll go out on the branch and say it's a typo.
The math adds up there, yeah, it actually.
Okay. Anything else? Call for the question, all those in favor? That's carried, thank you. 7.3.1, youth council representative, do I have a mover? Councillor Bonner, second, Councillor Lewin.
no, sorry,
You withdraw your I will second. Councillor Pelletier.
sorry.
Relative.
We tried to recruit, young members, to get into the municipal field, to experience, what it is like to be on council. And this was an initiative, from this original council. And, we had interest from a young lady, and, therefore she is willing to put up with you fine folks, for a term.
Or a month.
Yeah, for a month, yeah.
And you could quote me. September 2023 to the end of June 2024.
Thank you. Council, discussion, debate?
How do you say your first name?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's
How do
great.
you say your last name?
Lemoine.
Lemoine.
No, I think it's great. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter if it's family or not, that doesn't bother me. It's, someone that wants to take part in council, and I think it's great.
That's awesome.
Okay. Okay, I will, call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Abstains, sorry. For Lemoine abstains. For reasons unbeknownst to me. 7.3.2, May 2023 building permit reports. Do I have a mover? Councilor Bonner, second. Councilor Lemoine.
For the month of May, 23 permits, over $10.9 million of construction value, bringing in $18,000 in fees for a total up to date of 86 permits, 28.8 million in construction value, and 54,000 in fees. Slightly behind still the 2022 numbers, but not too bad.
Permits are down, but the dollar is up.
Yeah, bigger permits. Things cost more. Sure.
Well, I think that's, still great numbers considering the development or lesser development that's happening, so it's good. Anything else?
Well, yeah, just in a comment to that, like, year-to-date, total value 28 million, and the permit fees is 54. So it's last year, 23 million, and the permit fees are 70. So it's almost, yeah, that there's more fees last year on smaller value. It must be because the different type of construction.
Bigger projects.
Commercial is more fees,
Well,
maybe?
those are also
These are
listed,
Yeah.
those are also listed for you to review as to what type of permits are being issued out there, so.
So I'm just assuming it just seems
Yeah.
to go backwards, that's all.
Taking it backwards in our shop, thanks, Councilor Boulanger. We'll make
No.
that- I'm the media now. I'll call for the question, all those in favor? That is carried, thank you. And last but not least, adjournment, do I have a mover? Councilor Pelletier, second. Councilor Boulanger, final thoughts? Again, I just wanted, before we close, I wanted to send our condolences to the families, from the terrible bus crash and accident that happened, earlier this week. It was this week, correct? Yeah, so very sad. So just a quick moment of silence and then we'll close the meeting. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I'll call for the question. All those in favor to adjourn? That's carried. I'll close the meeting at 7:58 PM. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.